So, good afternoon and welcome to the Rotary Club of Madison. I'm George Hidalgo, Club President, and thanks for joining us today. My opening message today is about the benefits of Rotary that extend beyond our club. Now, did you know that there are nearly 60 Rotary clubs in our district? There is an annual district conference where you can meet Rotarians from other clubs in our area. So this year, the conference is being held virtually, so you don't have to travel anywhere. April 18th to the 24th, and no cost to attend. So you can't beat that. No cost, no travel. So they have speakers talking about global grants, and we'll hear speakers from Rotary International too. So why don't you check it out? I mean, it makes sense. You'll find a link to the registration in Friday's newsletter, and I hope to see you there. Remember too that once you start traveling again, Rotary is a great connection to almost any community you are visiting. There's Rotary clubs all over the world. So if you are visiting Rotary and another Rotary club, you'll get insights from other Rotarians into their communities, and it enhances your experience when you travel. So I encourage you to take full advantage of the benefits of even more connections with Rotary that extend beyond our club. So I had an example where I went down to Austin, Texas, and attended a Rotary Club meeting and learned a lot about the area. So please do the same. So on to our opening music. Ellis Waller will play Your Grand Old Flag on the bagpipes. And after Ellis, we will hear Take Me Out to the Ball Game, performed by Jeff Bartell and Joe Luanis. Take it away.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root, root, root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Play ball. Play ball.
So on to member recognition. So past President Andrea Kaminsky is in the studio today, and she will present 2 members with awards today. Andrea?
Thank you, George. I've been a member of the Member Recognition Committee, and which is always on the lookout for outstanding members who are providing extensive volunteer service on behalf of our Rotary Club. So each year we recognize 6 members for their outstanding efforts in one of Rotary's 5 avenues of service, which include club, community, international, vocational, and youth. I'm pleased to introduce 2 well-known Rotarians and friends today, Teresa Holmes and Melanie Ramey, as this year's recipients of our club service awards. Teresa joined our Rotary Club in 2016, and she owns a consulting business called Exponential Endeavors. Well, when Teresa joined just 5 years ago, she became immediately involved in committee work. And she's been a group discussion leader at our annual Rotary Ethics Symposium. She served as mentor to a Rotary scholar. She has served on our Community Grants Committee, Director Nominating Committee, and Welcoming Committee. And she co-chairs our Racial Equity and Diversity Committee. Teresa has also served on our Governance Task Force, and this year, and she began a 2-year term on our board in 2019. That's a lot in just a few years, but there's more. Teresa will become our club president on July 1st, and she's very busy making plans for that transition in her newest role, and we look forward to seeing Teresa more at the podium soon. Melanie has been a member of our Rotary Club since 1991, and she owns her own communications consulting business. In her 30 years of membership, Melanie has accomplished a great deal. She has served on most of our committees at some point, and she's chaired the Classification, Ethics Symposium, Fund Drive, and Orientation and Rotaract committees. Melanie served on our club board and was club president from 1998 to 1999. She's also been a Rotary Scholar mentor for several years. While president, Melanie started the very successful Birthday Contribution Program, which continues to serve by supporting deserving students and programs in our community to this day. Our club has honored Melanie with several awards, including the Manfred Swarzensky Humanitarian Service Award, the Joseph G. Werner Award, and most recently the Mitch Javid Award for having brought in the most new members in a 3-year period. Today, we'll add to that list for Melanie. So, to show our appreciation for their continuing service, I'm pleased to recognize past President Melanie Ramey and future President Teresa Holmes as this year's Rotary Club of Madison Club Service Award recipients. Our club has made a $200 contribution to the Rotary International Foundation to thank you for your service. And now we have a certificate and a pin for each of today's recipients, and which President George will now present to the two of you. So let's give our thanks and our congratulations to Teresa Holmes and Melanie Ramey for their outstanding and continuing service to our Rotary Club. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Truly an honor to work with you.
Thank you.
It is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You got the applause going?
We can do applause at the end.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and do it. So I mean, if I look at the example both Melanie and Teresa have set for us, I mean, they're truly dedicated to our club, and that's what makes us so strong. When you think about we're one of the top 10 largest clubs in the world, and the influence that we have in the community, I mean, every month when I talk, well, every week really, when I talk about members in the news and I talk about how much we give back to the community, these two are just outstanding examples of the caliber of Rotarians that we have. So again, please indulge me with another round of applause for all that they do for us. So thank you. So on to the Rotary Information Committee report. Moses Alsig is a member of our Rotary Information Committee, and this committee provides us vocational Rotary history reports. Today, Moses is going to tell us about two brothers who were pillars of our club and of our community. Moses?
Hi, I'm Moses Alsik. I'm on the Rotary Information Committee, and today I'd like to talk to you about the Goodman brothers' life of service. Now, if you only joined our club less than a dozen years ago or so, you missed out on the chance to meet Bob and Irv Goodman, two Rotarians whose philanthropy still benefits all of us. Bob and Irv were brothers. They were lifelong bachelors, and although they enjoyed a great many travels, they lived together in a modest apartment their entire life. Irv actually drove the same car for 35 years. Now, Bob and Irv started working at their father's and uncle's jewelry store at a young age, and over the years succeeded in making Goodman's Jewelers a Madison institution. They could have bought a beach house in Malibu and a yacht, but instead, they used their wealth to invest in the city they called home. Bob and Irv established a foundation to serve people in need of food and shelter, help children in crisis, and assist the elderly to remain independent. Now, their generous contributions made possible the Goodman pool, which was Madison's first community swimming pool, the Goodman Diamond at the women's softball stadium at UW-Madison, the Goodman Center, a 154-acre Jewish community campus out in Verona. They funded a 3.25-mile Rotary jogging path, many scholarships at UW-Madison. The Rotary 50-plus program that provides healthy lifestyle instruction to over 3,000 seniors, for which I'm now eligible. And they provided support to the Madison Civic Center, the Madison Police Department, Meriter Hospital, Temple Bethel, Jewish Social Services, Wisconsin Public Television, the Badger State Games. They created our Senior Service Award. You know, I could go on. Honestly, I could barely give you a partial list if I were today's keynote speaker and had 10 times the amount of time that I have, I think you could spend an entire day talking about all the things the Goodman brothers did. And those are the things we know about, quite frankly. They gave so much of their money away, I feel poorer just reading off the list. No, come to think of it, I actually feel richer. I was the benefactor of their generosity, as were you and your children and grandchildren. And Bob and Irv Goodman gave of their time at least as generously as they gave of their money. Through volunteering and service, they made lasting contributions to the life of the city, the university, and many, many nonprofit organizations. When I met Bob and Irv in that modest apartment, when I experienced firsthand how remarkably unassuming, warm, funny, and welcoming they were, I knew I was in the presence of greatness. Bob and Irv Goodman credited their mother, Belle, for having instilled in them the importance of philanthropy. They spoke of her when I met them. I suspect they spoke of her often, and we owe a great deal to Bob and Irv, and we owe a lot to Belle, too. If you only joined our club less than a dozen years ago, you missed out on the chance to meet Bob and Irv Goodman, but you didn't miss the chance to benefit from their legacy. There's something else they left us with, the aspiration to be more like them, to be more empathetic, compassionate, generous, to share our success and good fortune with neighbors and strangers, and to be better people. You wouldn't know Bob and Irv were important people in the community if you'd met them. They did nothing to show their influence or affluence to the people they met. They didn't think they did anything at all that was all that extraordinary. And on that point, they were wrong. It's a reason why all of us should try to get to know our fellow Rotarians. You never know who might inspire you in a lasting way unless you pause and listen to their story. We can no longer thank Bob and Irv, but we can repay them for their generosity by paying it forward. We can be generous when it's time to give to the Rotary Annual Fund and the Synergy Scholarship Fund, and we owe that much. We owe it to Bob and Irv. We can be generous in mentoring scholars and youth exchange students, sharing our time, experience, and talents with others. We can keep Bob and Irv's memory and legacy alive through our actions, and we can teach our kids about them. You found joy and meaning in service above self. And for that, Bob, Irv, and Belle, we thank you.
Now, we have birthdays celebrate with a bit of humor or wisdom that complements Rotary's mission. Now, we also encourage members to make an age-appropriate gift to the Madison Rotary Foundation, rounded up to $100 for our Club Synergy Scholarship Fund. So March 28th, Linda Dolazalik. Also March 28th, Sarah Esrich. March 29th, Jessica Geeson. March 30th, Bob Grabner. April 1st, Ron Yankee. Also April 1st, Bill Zeineman. April 2nd, Nick Curran. Also on April 2nd, Philip Petrowski. Also on April 2nd, past president Carol Toussaint, who says, thanks to those who have kept Rotary going during this pandemic. I especially reinforce that with the work that Jason and Brian have put into it, and also the entire staff. So thank you. April 3rd, Dick Pearson, whose words of wisdom are, some people get wiser of age, some get richer, everybody gets older. Good luck with the first two. So thank you, Dick. That's excellent. And thanks to our celebrants for their contribution to the Madison Rotary Foundation. Please join me in wishing them a happy birthday. Now we've got Jeff and Angela Bartell who will lead us in singing happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy
On to Remember in the News. Michelle McGrath will be speaking at the Rotary Leadership Series meeting for the 9 lacrosse area Rotary clubs on April 8th about her book, Fearless, Forward, and Fulfill Strategies, Dropping the F-Bomb. So Colleen Kerr was quoted in an article about the $14 million gift to One City Schools, which will allow the purchase of an office building in Monona that will become the new home for the school. That's Wisconsin State Journal, 324. Now, Carla Tennis was quoted in an article about added security for the temporary homeless shelter on Madison's east side. Wisconsin State Journal, 325. Gloria Reyes was quoted in an article about a proposal to rename Memorial High School. Capital Times, 324. Alan Ebert was quoted in an article about Children's Theater of Madison hoping to attract diverse actors and audiences with stories that reflect the community. Madison Magazine, April 2021. Greg Michaels was quoted in an article about Madison libraries considering a reopen day of April 19th. Wisconsin State Journal, 328. And Teresa Holmes and Martha Sullivan were among women interviewed as part of Lady Boss Series 93.1 Jamsey during the month of March. So these are, again, examples of fellow Rotarians making a difference in our community. So thank you. Things that I'm very proud to just work with so many distinguished Rotarians that make an impact in the community. So on to our program. So, and the subject, as you can see from what you heard, is going to be talking about what's going on in Madison. Our guest speaker is Ruben Anthony. Now, Ruben previously worked as a manager with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, where he started as a first-line supervisor and eventually became the deputy secretary and the chief operations officer. He was also responsible for managing the day-to-day operations of the agency and overseeing the programming of all areas. Now, Ruben became president and CEO of the Urban League of Greater Madison in 2015. Now, in the time he has been with the Urban League of Greater Madison, they have increased their job placement by 39%. Again, 39%, and have made over 1,400 placements to date. So today, he's going to tell us about how the Urban League of Greater Madison is leading the way in the continued transformation of the Park Street corridor. So we look forward to Anthony's presentation, and we have made a contribution to the Rotary International Poli Plus Fund as a way to say thanks for speaking to us today. Now, I also wanted to mention that we will have a live question and answer period with our speaker immediately following today's presentation. And you can find the link to the Zoom Q&A in this morning's email from the Rotary office or in today's YouTube chat. So let's welcome Anthony to our virtual podium.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Ruben Anthony, the president and CEO of the Urban League of Greater Madison. It's truly an honor to be here at the Rotary Club of Madison today. I definitely want to thank Ron Luskin for giving me the opportunity to come before you, and I'm hoping that I can share with you this afternoon the importance of economic justice and economic development and the necessity of it in South Madison. So I have a presentation that I want to share with you today. I want to talk to you first about our organization, the Urban League, and then I want to spend the rest of my time talking to you about economic development in South Madison. The National Urban League was founded in 1910. We have 92 affiliates across the nation. Those affiliates are in most major cities. The Urban League of Greater Madison has 50 years here in the city. We were founded in 1968, so we've been here a little bit over 50 years. The Urban League of Greater Madison has been a refuge for many people in this city. We have been a place for the unemployed to come to look for jobs, to train for jobs. We have been a place for people of color and the poor to come and receive help in a lot of different ways. Many times when people come to us, they need an opportunity to rebuild their lives. And so we have been a place to give individual individuals in this community a second chance. In many instances, our folks who come to use our programs, we're the only option that's available to help them. So we are here today to talk about, economic justice, and we're here to talk about, wealth development. When we look at not just here in Madison, but when we look across the nation, we know that historically intergenerational wealth has been built, by home ownership, and real estate ownership. African Americans across the nation experience 46% of home ownership. In the state of Wisconsin, only 26% of African Americans are homeowners. That is the third worst in the nation. So we got to do something about that. Here in Dane County, only 10% of African Americans have home ownership. So here's the thing. So the Urban League of Greater Madison had a home ownership program where we purchased 54 homes, and 52 of those homes have been given to individuals in the community. And we've got 2 of those homes left to go. But last year, we got a $5 million new market tax credit program approved, and we were able to purchase 16 more homes. And these are these are homes that individuals will have right away. And so there's 16 homes where they'll be granted home ownership right away. They'll have the equity in the home, and they'll also have this opportunity to develop wealth for their families. We're at the point where we believe that we can't stand on the sideline and look in and not do anything about, what's happening in South Madison and in the city and in the state. Gentrification in South Madison is a big issue. As we were purchasing these homes, there was lots of competition with us to buy these homes, and the prices of homes are being driven up so much that it's almost unaffordable, for many people in the community. And so we have to do something about that. In South Madison, the development is outpacing planning, and African Americans and other leaders in that community have decided to stand up and cast a vision for moving this community forward. We have to make sure that people in that community in South Madison are not driven out, by the price because they can't afford to be homeowners. Madison has a 3% vacancy rate, for just housing in general. And if you can't find housing or home ownership in South Madison, it's likely that you're not going to be able to find it anywhere in the city. We have to do something about that. We have to do something about the disparities. And the time for us standing on the sideline and not doing anything has come to a stop. And so we have decided to purchase these homes and to make sure that they're affordable and to make sure that people of color have access and they can participate in the American dream. So let me move away from home ownership. And I know many of you want to hear about the Black Business Hub. And so we've been inspired by a project in Milwaukee called the Sherman Phoenix Project. The Black Business Hub and the housing program that we've launched in South Madison is all about creating economic justice and creating more opportunities for poor people and African Americans and other people of color to participate in this intergenerational wealth building. And so we looked at the Sherman Phoenix and we saw that the Sherman Phoenix was an old BMO Harris building that was burnt up during unrest in the city of Milwaukee. And this project symbolizes rising from the ashes and the community stepping up to make a difference. Joanne Sabir, Julie Kaufman, and many others from the Milwaukee community said, let's give small African-American businesses a chance. Let's give these individuals opportunities to own small shops, to start up businesses. And so we are inspired by this, and we believe that we can do something similar here in Madison. South Madison, if there is any place that you can call an African-American enclave, South Madison would be that place. And so we think that we can create this Black Business Hub or the Small Business Hub in South Madison that can be the destination for many African-American businesses to start up, grow their businesses, and be viable now and out into the future. We believe that in South Madison, we can cause this renaissance to happen. Jack Daniels led the way, by running towards the fire with Madison College. He knew that was where most of the demand was in South Madison. And he knew that people over there needed to have this education offered by Madison College. And so he led the way. And now you've got Alex G., who has the Center for Cultural Excellence right up on the hill across from Jack. You've got Mount Zion Family Life Center, there. You've got Luna Grocery Store and the Affordable Housing Project by Brandon Rule. And you got the Urban League now, with this economic development hub. We believe that this will cause a renaissance in South Madison, right in the southernmost gateway of the city. And why not? Because if the Urban League can't stand up and bet on these Black businesses, who will? If these African-American leaders can't stand up and bet on these Black businesses, who will? We need to make a difference, and we need to have economic justice here in this city. And so right off the bat, we had Joe Parisi, the county executive, stood up with us and supported us and said, we're going to support you. They gave us a $100,000 planning grant so that we can begin the planning for this project. Then eventually he gave us $2 million to acquire property for this project. The CDA and the city of Madison is working with us to acquire the property, and they've been with us right there from the beginning. American Family has given us $400,000 to support these businesses with loans and also to support the staffing necessarily to work with these businesses. A community member, Jan O'Neill, came forward and said, it's really important that we respond to economic justice and we find a way to help these businesses succeed in Madison. And she took $50,000 from an inheritance that her mother gave her to help with these businesses. And she's set a goal of raising $250,000 by the end of May to go along with the money that American Family has given us. Community stakeholders have met with us and said, this is a great project, let's make it happen. Minority businesses have met with us and they have given us ideas about how the space should be designed, what their needs are, so that we can be consistent with the community and their desires. City of Madison, as you see, Alder Tag Evers, Alder Sherry Carter, and our mayor, along with Claude Gilmore and Camille Carter from the Black Chamber, all standing up saying that it's time that we do this Black Business Hub. It's time that we do economic development, here in Madison. So the mission of this hub is to create an ecosystem that will create entrepreneurship, that will promote development and stabilize the Black community, stabilize these minority-owned businesses. It is an opportunity for not only for the Villager Mall, but for South Madison and Madison as a whole and Dane County in general. We have the ability to create a space where these small businesses can come together and that there could be a supply chain relationship there to kind of help these businesses, that there could be training where oftentimes businesses, minority businesses and small businesses are expert at what they do, but not expert at working on their businesses. There'll be supportive services there to help them work on their businesses so that they're not just showing up for the business, but they're taking care of the accounting, they're taking care of the marketing, and all those other things that will help them stabilize their business and grow their business. And this is what we need to do, here in Madison. When we talk about the local economy, here in Madison, this can serve as an economic draw to bring other resources to the Madison community, other resources to South Madison, and give an opportunity to enhance and improve lives for many people in our community. So let's talk some more about the development itself. It will be a mixed-use development. We expect to have 15 or 20 companies or businesses to locate on the hub, but we expect to anchor the hub with several government agencies that may sign long-term contracts that would allow us to offer lower rents to those businesses that will locate here, on the site. That will make all the difference in the world, is having these anchors be there. The project will have two phases. Phase one will just be the business hub and the anchor tenants, and then there's phase two of the project that will have multi-family affordable housing, and that will be a wide range of housing. Here's what the site looks like. As you can see, the pink structure there is where the building will be located. It will be located on Park Street and Hughes Place. And there we're proposing a 3-story building with the business tenants on the first floor. And if you look to along Hughes Street to the top there's a blue structure. It's a parking structure that could be 3 or 4 stories to accommodate parking. If you look to the far right, of this, or to the north of this slide, that's where the existing Urban League is, and that's where Access Community Health is. So that's the location. Everybody's been wanting to know where we're going to locate. We've looked at 7 spaces in the Park Street area along that corridor, but it will be on Park Street and Hughes. So with the model, we're expecting that it'll be probably about 65,000 square feet. We're expecting the commercial tenants to take up about 30,000 of those square feet. The remaining will go to the retail businesses that we expect to be on the first floor. So there's still room for other anchor tenants. And so if you're interested, or someone who's interested in establishing a long-term relationship with us, reach out, and let us know, and we'd be glad to work with you. So if I talk about some of the services and features, the hub will, again, leverage the years of experience that the Urban League of Greater Madison has been here, and we'll provide, all our resources and our partnerships to make this happen. We expect that we will create a robust ecosystem to support entrepreneurs who are seeking to locate in this facility. So this will involve making sure that we're doing the business planning with these organizations, the technical assistance, and that there's an opportunity for access to capital. We're hoping that we will have a bank or a financial institution step up and partner with us, so that there might be long-term banking relationships established with these organizations. And then again, we will look for shared services like providing these entities with marketing, HR, and other technical support, and more. So we need individuals to help us with this project, to reach out, for us. And if you know of small and minority-owned businesses that are interested in locating at the hub, let us know. Some of the businesses that have already reached out have been professional services, consultants. It has been personal care, beauty shops, barber shops. It's been food, services, financial services, entertainment, and government programs, and the supportive services that'll be there. And so if you know of a business that is looking to get a start, or a business that's already existing that's looking to have another location, this is the ideal site, for those businesses. So as I close, I will ask you to, join us. We are looking to get a new market tax credit deal for this project, and we're looking for investors and lenders, just like we did with the housing program. We're looking for low-cost capital and other soft, types of support to really help with the project. We're looking for philanthropic support to fill gaps in financing. And then we're looking for in-kind contributions. If you have IT equipment and other types of equipment that you want to provide to businesses to help, then we would also like that. One additional market tenant, again, to take up 5,000 to 10,000 square feet is what we need. And I'll stop there for questions and answers.
Outstanding presentation, so thank you. And for those who are interested, we will now move to the live Q&A session via Zoom. So you can see the link in the chat, or find the link in this morning's email from the Rotary office. So I just spoke to Ruben. He's ready for our questions. So I also want to remind members that we seek feedback on our programs each week. And there's a link in the chat to a very brief survey about today's program. We also include a link to the speaker survey in each Friday morning's email. So Join us for the question and answer period. And thank you to everyone who attended today's meeting. We are adjourned.